Well, I've actually come here for the Viscovice project for the Pilsen 2015 City of Culture, and we're here for the second stage judging exercise. So it's a competition. We have 5 entries that we are reviewing tomorrow, and hopefully between us on the jury we will come up with a conclusive decision. As someone once said, there are no new ideas, it's just a refreshing of memories to revitalise something that was once good, or something like that. I misquote beautifully. But if you think back, before we became an enormous population across the world, when man first started to inhabit the landscape, generally, populations, communities respected the landscape. They worked with the landscape. So it wasn't about denuding, it wasn't about building in inappropriate places. It was about creating communities that were able to live, work, and produce to be self-sufficient. So it was working with the landscape. Long time ago. The world is a very different place. But it doesn't mean that we should in any way change that fundamental principle, because it's a phrase that I have used for many, many years. Landscape is the context within which all development takes place. Think about anything that happens: a road, a path, a telegraph pole, an underground pipeline. It all takes place in my canvas as a landscape architect, in the landscape. Thus it will have, in some way or other, an impact on that landscape, for people, for wildlife, for plant life, for the planet in general. Hence, what we need to better understand is that when we build our cities, they still have to be places where people can live in communities, where actually the city is not a harsh environment, but it also can, in many ways, respect the environment and, in many ways, help and adapt to it. But we've gone beyond there. We now just build, well, we have built for many years, purely for profit. And that's unacceptable. And we can't continue to do that, because we know our resources on this planet are finite. And thus we have to change our way of thinking. But we're changing it back to how we once thought, but in a modern society. I do. I think we all think it's a new idea. You know, we've given it this wonderful title of green infrastructure. But call it what you want. I really am not a person that you know, is one for names. But actually, it is now, certainly in the UK, and certainly as a European directive or regulation, the European Landscape Convention is calling for exactly that. And yes, we are beginning to. It's not happening as quickly as I might like it to. It's certainly not happening as regularly as it ought. But it is a different way of thinking. And it's thinking about this multifunctional aspect of landscape. Not just about where can I put my alleged iconic building, where can I build 400 houses for, you know, this many people. It's more thinking about how do we create the communities where people do want to live, work and relax.